Good morning, students. Today we have to discuss regarding fieldcraft. This is for third sem. Fieldcraft means the art of using the field. Craft means an art, how the ground can be properly used. A soldier has to go to different places in the war field. The available ground he has to make use for the best. During battle, soldiers will be placed in different places, maybe plain area, maybe hilly area, maybe terrain, maybe forest, maybe sandy area. Different types of areas soldier comes across. Wherever he is dropped in, he has to make use the best possible advantage of the particular ground. He has to fight with the enemy by taking shelter of the ground. Depending on the availability of the ground, what type of shelter he can take, that he has to study well during training. The different four types of grounds are there: plain ground, hilly area, broken land. Like this, the lands have been classified in different ways, and during training, soldier is given training of all this: how to make use of different land, how to hide oneself, and at the same time have an observation on enemy and fight with the enemy. So the art of using for the benefit is a fieldcraft. This detailed study of field and making best use of the available ground is called fieldcraft. And next, camouflage. Camouflage also is a part of fieldcraft. Camouflage means breaking the shape. A human shape can be identified easily, but to hide oneself from the enemy, the shape of the human being should be broken. It should not appear like a human being. You might have seen the soldiers in the battlefield putting so many grasses, leaves on the head, leaves on the shoulders, small branches, so that he should not appear like a soldier. He should appear like a small tree or a bush. So that's why breaking the shape and hiding all the shining parts of the body. For example, badge is there on the cap. Any metal on the body or on the uniform will definitely shine. If the sun rays fall, it will shine. It will give a clue to the enemy that there is somebody. In order to hide oneself from the enemy, a soldier must get a training properly how to camouflage. Camouflage means breaking the shape and avoiding all what is shining. Even human face also can shine. Mud is put on the face, the part which can shine. So this is how one can deceive the enemy by hiding oneself. Otherwise, enemy will deceive us. We must be quite expert in deceiving the enemy by hiding ourselves. And by camouflaging, we can easily hide ourselves. according to the ground, we have to make use of the color. Even you must have seen the small animals, they change their color for their safety. In the same way, soldier also has to mix up with the background color. If it is a forest area, he should have green camouflage. If it is a sandy land, the color which is suitable for the sandy land, he must make use of that for camouflaging. So this is how every soldier has to learn it better so that he can enter into the war field when he has well trained. For sending the soldiers into the battlefield, at least 3 months perfect training is necessary. That's what our training centers do. Section is a very small unit of an infantry battalion. Section consists of 1 plus 9 members. It is a tradition in the military. Commander is always kept separate. Other ranks are kept separate. Instead of 10, when we are asked what is the strength of a section, the soldiers are trained to say that 1 plus 9 is the strength of the section, not 10. Section commander is not included in the other strength. So it is said 1 plus 9. Amongst these 1 plus 9, one is commander, other one is a section 2IC, and there will be 6 riflemen, rifle number 1, rifle number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this, 6 people will be riflemen. Out of these 6 riflemen, third rifleman has got a different name. He is a bomber man. He carries a different type of rifle. That is called GF rifle. GF rifle means grenade firing rifle. He has got 4 rifle grenades with him, as other soldiers have got 2 hand grenades each. If enemy is hiding in a broken area, this rifle number 3, who is called a bomber man, who has got a GF rifle, he will throw particularly the rifle grenade on the enemy, and the other 2 are brain 1, brain 2. Brain 1 carries LMG, that is machine gun. There is only one machine gun in a section and 2 stain guns. One is carried by the section commander, other one is carried by the LMG 2. This is how the total 1 plus 9 people are divided in this way. Section commander, 2IC, rifle number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, brain 1, brain 2. Then this section has got its own system of movement. While moving in the battlefield, section has to look for its own safety first of all. It selects 2 persons as a scouts. They will be always in front of the section. The scouts are called the eyes and ears of the section. What our eyes and ears do, eyes see, ears hear. Any information in the front area or in the enemy area, whatever they see, whatever they hear, it is communicated by the scouts to the section commander. Then section commander can take action. So they are always 10-15 steps ahead of the section, because all people cannot go and enter and can be trapped by the enemy. That's why only 2 persons are put in the front. They are called scouts. And these scouts are very intelligent people. They observe the enemy area very carefully, and they carefully hear whatever sounds they are getting from enemy area, and by that they can guess and communicate the section commander. So this is how a section, taking into consideration its own safety, it keeps on moving. But depending on the availability of a ground, section has to take different formations. If the ground is plain, if the ground is very narrow, if the section is moving by roadside, if it is moving in a nala, if it is an open ground, if it is in the forest, depending on the availability of a ground, section commander decides in what formation the section has to move. These section formations training is given to them during training time. Number 1 is single file formation. A person standing one behind the other is called a file, and a person standing one side by the other is called a line. This is the difference between file and the line. Single file formation means, first of all, 2 scouts will be in the front. Behind them there will be a section commander. Behind the section commander, depending on the area, safety of the section, brain group can be kept just behind the section commander, or it can be kept at the back of at the tail end. In a single line, the whole section will be moving. That is called a single file formation. The second one is file formation. File formation means section will be moving in 2 lines. Normally, the army, whenever it moves through the roads, one side of the road, some people will be moving, on the other side of the road, some other people will be moving. Or rifle group will be moving from one side, brain group will be moving from the other side. So invariably there will be 2 lines. That is called file formation. Generally, while moving on the road, section adopts this formation, file formation. The third one is arrowhead formation. Arrowhead formation appears like an arrowhead. Normally, this arrowhead formation is adopted when a section is moving in a plain area. Only scouts will be in the front, section commander, 2-3 riflemen, or one side brain group, one side rifle group. The formation appears like an arrowhead. That's why it is called arrowhead formation. There is another formation called spearhead formation. Spearhead formation, scouts will be in the front. In between scouts and the rest of the section commander will be there, because he has to control the scouts and control the rest of the section. And brain group will be at the back of the section commander. On both the sides, some riflemen where all-round observation is necessary. Enemy may come from any side. To keep a watch on enemy from all sides, normally spearhead formation is adopted. There may be possibility enemy appearing from the backside also. That's why the spearhead formation is preferred during that time. There is another formation called diamond formation. The diamond formation appears like a diamond. The two scouts will be in the front and rest of the people will be in a round, appear like a round circle, and section commander will be at the center. This formation is adopted as and when the section have to deploy itself during night time. During night time, the section has to keep all-round observation. Enemy may come from any side. All soldiers who are sitting in a circle will be observing all the directions. In 360 directions, they will be keeping the observation. So this particularly the diamond formation is adopted as and when the night halt is made. When the section is halting at night. For the safety of the section, diamond formation is adopted. The last one is extended line formation. Commander, 2IC, brain group, riflemen, all of them will be standing one side by the other. All of them will be making one line. Particularly this formation is adopted whenever the screening work is done during the forest. In a forest area, when the enemy is hiding, terrorists are hiding, to clean them, extended line formation is adopted. And when a final assault is to be made on the enemy, all at a time attack the enemy in one line. All of them will be going forward in one line. And this extended line formation is adopted during screening and during attack. These are the 6 formations that section adopts. Coming to the platoon formations. In a platoon there will be 3 sections. Platoon is a higher formation of the section. Next higher formation of the section is platoon formation. Platoon consists of 3 sections and 1 platoon headquarter. The total strength of the platoon is 1 plus 36. The total strength is 37, but it is called 1 plus 36 because commander is kept aside and remaining 36. That 36 includes 3 sections and platoon headquarter. And as the section adopts 6 different formations, as told just now, single file formation, arrowhead formation, spearhead formation, diamond formation and extended line formation. In the same way, platoon, while making an attack on the enemy, it also adopts 3 different formations. First formation is one-up formation. In a one-up formation, 1 section will be in the front, 2 sections will be behind, and platoon headquarter at the center. In a 2-up formation, 2 sections will be in the front, and 1 section behind, and platoon headquarter in the middle. Because 2-inch detachment, 2-inch mortar detachment is there. It is a gunnery of a platoon. It is always kept safe in the center. When there is a 3-up formation is adopted, as the section adopts extended line formation when it is going to attack on enemy, in the same way platoon also adopts 3-up formation. All 3 sections and platoon headquarter, all of them will be coming in one line side by side, and all of them will be attacking on the enemy at a time. And even during searching operation also, platoon searching operation also can adopt this platoon 3 up formation. So this is all about platoon formations. Then coming to patrol and ambush. Patrol and ambush also are very important lessons a soldier has to become perfect in that. It is described patrol is an acid test of a soldier. When we testing the metal, precious metal like gold, we put them into the acid, conduct a test whether it is pure or not. In the same way, soldiers are sent on a patrol. Patrol is different from patrol. Patrol means going into the enemy area and collecting the information regarding enemy. Going into the no man land. No man land means a land which is in between the two borders of the country. And that area is called no man land. Some people, 3, 4, 5 people, they are very limited people, not even a section. They are sent to make a survey of the enemy. They are sent to make a survey of enemy and as well as ground also, area also. What activities enemy is doing in that area. To understand all this, some selected very wise soldiers are sent as a patrol. When a soldier goes on a patrol, it's not definite that he may come back. That day itself may be an end of his life. He may be trapped into the enemy. That's why a soldier who is going on a patrol must be very, very careful. He must have an all-round observation. For keeping every step ahead, he has to think twice. Very careful. And keep on sending the information whatever is possible. This is the job of the patrol. And when they come back successfully from the patrolling, because some 2 hours, 3 hours time is given to them, time out, time in, and where they have to go, it is decided by the commander. You have to go in that area and get the information of the enemy. Specific task is given to the patrol. They will be going for 2 hours, 3 hours or 4 hours at the maximum. They will come back and report to the commander. If they come back till the patrol returns, commander will be restless because his men have gone outside. Whether they come back or not, while coming, what information they come with. So commander is totally restless when he has sent his boys for patrolling. He thinks as if he has sent his own children. That's why it is a responsibility of the commander also to select the place, give the task, and to wait for them till they come back. This is the job of the patrolling. At the same time, ambushing also is a part of field craft. Ambush means it is a sudden attack on enemy. Ambush is a sudden attack, unexpected attack on the enemy is called an ambush. This ambush in other way is called a guerrilla warfare. This guerrilla warfare was very popular in the Vietnam War. America has to surrender to these Vietnamese because of the guerrilla warfare. Our national hero, Shivaji, is a creator of this ambush, a guerrilla warfare. Vietnamese have learned this guerrilla warfare from our Shivaji Maharaj. Many people have learned many things from Indians. Shivaji Maharaj not only regarded here in India, he has been regarded elsewhere in the world. Such a tough soldier he was. And Shivaji Maharaj is supposed to be the father of guerrilla warfare. because he has harassed a lot to the Mughal soldiers. The Mughal army was put to trouble because of Shivaji. He is to select such places where he can trap the Mughal soldiers, Mughal army. Because he had his own small army of foresters, people who were living in hilly area. He selected them as soldiers, trained them properly. And how to harass the Mughal big army? He did it very successfully. So he used to make sudden attack. These ambushes are done not regularly. If an ambush is conducted today, it may be conducted after 10 days or after 15 days or even tomorrow also. There is no specific timetable for conducting ambush. Enemy should be given a surprise. That is called an ambush. And the aim of the ambush is to totally destroy the enemy. Those who have been trapped into the ambush. By putting this, the ambush party can collect a lot of information from the enemy. The ambush is laid only after studying the habits of the enemy. For example, enemy is going to a particular place for bringing water. Enemy is going to a particular place for collecting food. Enemy is going to a different place for collecting arms and ammunition. Thorough study has to be made before laying an ambush. Ambush should be laid in such a place, from ambush nobody should escape. It's a very wise tactics of war that Shivaji did it.